speak with regard to Article 1, family.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Alan Love, Mecklenburg County. I would like to make an amendment to Article 1, family, to add a Section 8, one sentence. We support certified professional midwives attending home births. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second to the proposed amendment?
Second. Nicole, Revels, Caldwell County.
The chair thanks the gentlelady. Gentleman rises to the point of information.
Was that already in the Bill Greene, for South Carolina, was that already in the platform and then taken out or something? I thought it was already in the platform.
That was in the previous platform. That is our working document that we begin with every year for our platform. Some things stay in, some things come out. That was one of the things that was taken out.
Could the chair of the committee answer that as to why they took that out?
There really wasn't a lot of discussion about it. There was some ancillary people that, there were some people that contacted me that didn't really see a need for it in there. I guess my question is, why, well, I don't have a question. Again, it wasn't, we began with the previous document as a beginning working document, if that makes sense. Certain things are taken out.
Gentleman rises to the point of information. Gentleman is first one.
Could we perhaps be told what was taken out of the previous platform so we know where we're starting from and what was added?
Well, actually, we're starting from the document that's been on the document.
I have to go to the website and start reading the changes. The chairman of the committee has not told what the changes were.
The answer is, could we do that? The answer to that question is, I guess we could. The chair's not going to order that at this time. The document for consideration is a document that's presented here, and actually the question for the convention this time is a proposed amendment to Article 1 to add a new Section 8 to read, we support certified professional midwives attending home births. Gentleman rises to the point of information.
So is that putting what was in the platform back into the platform?
Again, the chair is not sure what was on the platform before, but that would be putting that sentence in the platform. So the question is on the adoption of the amendment, recognizing the maker of the amendment for a time not to exceed 2 minutes.
Well, very simply, this was added.
Jim was sweet one. There was a second. Julie will restate her name and county, please.
Nicole, Revels, Caldwell County.
Thank you.
This was an amendment that was added to the platform as Section 7 in Article 1 last year. By the convention, it was added from the floor and voted on by a majority of the delegates. That clearly has been taken out by the platform committee this year and replaced with the new Section 7, which we don't object to, but I would like to simply have this reinserted as Section 8 now, simply to say that we support a situation where a certified professional midwife who has received training and been certified can attend home births in North Carolina without being a nurse practitioner, as is legal in Virginia, South Carolina, and the other states surrounding North Carolina. I believe there was a bill that was submitted this year for consideration in the North Carolina General Assembly. I believe it may still be in committee, and I do not know whether it may cross over or not. But since this was voted on and approved by this convention at last year's state convention, I see no reason why it should not remain a part of the platform.
Chair, thanks to the gentleman. Any other persons speaking in opposition to this proposal? Recognize the gentleman.
Dave Berkeley County. Folks, a while back, I held a baby that never smiled at me, that never made eye contact. The baby is now 2 years old. barring a miracle, he'll never walk, he'll never talk. What happened is he was born as white, something went wrong, and he was deprived of oxygen for an extended period of time. He wasn't in a hospital, there was no way to prevent what happened to that baby. I'm sorry. This is a really bad thing to encourage, folks. It hurts people. Hospital births have been very, very good for babies in this country. You know, I am all for letting people do what they want to do, but I don't want to put something in our platform that encourages people to do something that is unhealthy for babies. I'm sorry, I get a little emotional. It was really hard for me to open that baby.
Chair, thanks to the gentleman. At this time, the Chair will once again invoke his privilege under Rule 9, and beginning at this point, impose a 5-minute limit on the affirmative and a 5-minute limit on the negative. Those wishing to speak in favor of the amendment to add a new Article 8, any delegate from the far end, recognizing the gentleman.
At the convention of last year, 2012 North Carolina State Republican Convention, this was the only one substantive addition to the platform that was organic. It was proposed by a delegate on the floor. I believe there were over 700 delegates that Friday. It was proposed by a delegate, debate was had among the delegates, and the delegates voted overwhelmingly in favor of adding that amendment to the platform. Okay, so the people in this room are the most involved active participants of the Republican Party of North Carolina. And for over 700 of them to make such a decision, and then a committee that consists of, I think, 16 people. And as you said, there was not a lot of debate had on the removal of the amendment, so it's not even very clear, that might be a point of information as to what discussion there was and among how many people on the removal. But for a small committee to remove a decision that was made by such a large body of North Carolina Republicans sends a pretty strong message to the grassroots, and I think we really need to consider the implications of that.
Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the proposed amendment from the far mic? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the proposed amendment? From this mic, anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Recognize the gentleman.
Paul Harper from Wayne County. We're limiting the platform of being a Republican. All of a sudden you're deciding you have to be for this or have to be for that to be a Republican. Why don't we just make this a part of the old-fashioned vote of you bring it up and we vote for it in the House or the Senate or whatever and make it a rule instead of making it part of the platform? I'm not for it, I'm not against it, but why do we have to have it in the platform? Let's just make it all-inclusive party and not have it in there.
Anyone wishing to speak in opposition, in favor of the proposed amendment?
Mr. Chairman.
Recognizing from this microphone, anyone wishing to speak, there's a line. Again, if delegates wish to speak to something entirely different from this matter, the chair has to move away from the microphones at this time. Recognizing the gentleman.
Yes, David Williams, Wake County, speaking in favor of the amendment. Just want to say that we're all Republicans here, so I think our first question ought to be, our first orientation ought to be the default position is freedom. This isn't about being against hospital births. It's about having home birth freedom. And our default position should be one of freedom. Also, again, this is a part of the current platform. It's been said, but I think that should be reiterated. Lastly, it's been mentioned that there is a bill that was introduced, I believe, in the North Carolina Senate, SB 106, that was introduced by Republican Senator Tom Goolsbee. So we do have at least one Republican legislator as primary sponsor of the Home Birth Freedom Bill. I encourage delegates here to vote in favor of this motion. Thank you.
In opposition? In opposition?
Mr. Chair.
To what purpose does the gentleman rise?
Sammy Dog, Craven County. I'll move the previous question.
Is there a second to the motion previous question? Chair, thanks to the gentleman. Now, previous question has been moved and seconded. We'll now take a vote on whether or not to end debate on the proposed amendment. Those voting yes are voting to end debate and vote on the amendment. Those voting no are voting to continue debate. All those in favor of gentleman rises to a point of information.
Yes, sir. Has the full 5 minutes been debated?
Full 5 minutes have not been taken.
I'll ask the committee to continue on with the debate.
The previous question has been moved and seconded. We must vote on the previous question this time. All those in favor of ending debate, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Yes. The chair, the ayes have it. The previous question is ordered. We'll now move into an immediate vote on the proposed amendment, Article 1 Family, to add a new Section 8 to read. We support certified professional midwives attending home births. All those in favor of adding this, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is adopted.